did you almost quit at any moment?
I wouldn't say almost quit, but I had a bacterial infection after South America that I contracted at some point, and I got really ill. So I won't like share the whole story, but I ended up knocking me out for like 4 or 5 months. I lost 45 pounds. It's an agony all the time. And for people listening, I can't lose 45 pounds. I'm
No.
very skinny. I always have
So
been.
did you go like this before you lost the 45?
The bacterial infection was like pretty slow going, and so when I was in Ireland and Scotland, in Ireland I started having these stomach spasms, which were like 10 out of 10. I'd fall on the ground and black out in pain. It was literally, I just like literally couldn't see. It was so painful, the spasm. And then when I got to Scotland, I realized I'm like losing weight and I have no energy. I walked North Ireland. I walked 3 miles to the ferry, got the ferry, walked 3 miles into Scotland, and I was done.
And you were used to walking 20, 24 miles a
Oh
day.
yeah. And even at the beginning, I never walked less than I think 16.
Okay.
And then I walked 6 and I was like, I cannot go step further. I'm exhausted. And then I was like, okay, like your body's failing you. And so I took a train down to London where I have my cousin living there. And I was in and out of infectious disease in the Royal London Hospital for about a month. They can figure it out what was wrong. I'm losing weight. Basically, it's getting worse. The pain's getting worse. I'm vomiting, all sorts of stuff. Flew home, in and out of the hospital again. Can't figure it out. They end up just throwing a bunch of antibiotics at it, and one of them starts working. And then the weight came back like a blink. And then so I picked up, once of my like physically was like somewhat okay, I picked up in Denmark. I couldn't handle the Scottish rain like right away. So I was like, all right, I'm in Denmark. I'll have bike pass down to Spain. It'll be easy going. And what should have been probably the easiest walking of the journey, I was in Europe in spring, very developed, beautiful, great infrastructure. I was miserable because, again, when you're walking, it's just you and you out there. And I had been in pain for so long that all my optimism was sort of turned to a pessimism. And I was just not a pleasure to be with. And so if something went wrong, I would just crumble emotionally. And you can't have that when you're out like facing change over and over and over and over again. And things are guaranteed to go wrong a million times every day. You have to be really mentally resilient. And I just wasn't. And so then I started thinking about, I could go home and then I drinks with friends and Sunday dinner with my grandparents. But when I really played it out, it's like, that wasn't the life I wanted to live. Yes, this is really difficult, but I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 and live in an apartment and buy furniture and have a car. So like I was living this great life, and yeah, it's really tough right now, but I was getting everything I wanted out of it. I was getting adventure. I was getting understanding. I was traveling, and every day I'm having new experiences. So I think I was able to persevere because I couldn't imagine alternate life. I mean, because the world walk was so based in who I was and the things that I valued. So yeah, I considered it, but really I never actually got that close, I don't think.
What's the most scared you were during those 7 years?
I got held up at gunpoint in Turkey, up in remote mountains. I was trying to get away from just the noise, and got a shotgun put against me and turned around. And after actually when I was sick, I thought I was going to die then. I was withering. I was like 122 pounds. I'm like, 3 months, that'll be it. But I thought, hey, at least I'd lived. I'd walked the Americas. You gave it a good shot. But then I had the shotgun pointed at me. I was like, I don't really want to die. I'm like having a good time. So I was more scared than I thought I was going to be. Actually, I was like shaking. And yeah, I thought I'd resolved any fear of death. But then when I was actually confronted with it, I was much more scared than I thought I was going to be. And also I was like, what's going to happen with Savannah?
How'd you get out of it?
You got to read the book. You have to get the book because it's a long story. It's a good chapter.
But you're here, so we know.
But I'm here. Well. Yeah, exactly. It's better written than it is me telling. But so yeah, you pick up the book for that.